first formed in 1952 by a man called Harry Pickard, who was very big in the music scene on the island, and he wanted a really good upper voice choir, not so much for performance on the island but for touring, and he used to take them off to, well, all over Europe. And he was very, very strict. He had rules about how old you weren't allowed to be in it. If you were married, you weren't allowed to be in it once you got past a certain age. It was very, very strict. And then he carried on doing that, and he actually died while he was, they were just about to go on tour, and his son took over for the tour, and that was Alan Pickard, who was head of the music service on the island, hugely influential musician on the Isle of Man. And he took the choir then until, well, just before 2003, when he retired on health grounds, and then I took over. But I changed the name from Manx Girls Choir, because we'd lost the rule of you've got to leave when you get married. We'd lost the rule that you've got to leave when you hit a certain age. I think it was 40. It was 40, yeah. And various people were saying I could take the teasing from my husband about it not being a girls' choir, do I qualify, then the teasing from my children, but now my grandchildren are teasing me and I can't take it. So we changed the name to MANX VOICES, just keeping the Manx part of it and just keep leaving it fairly open to any future changes, because we could have men. It's one of the things that is the hardest thing to do in a group of people, is to do unison singing, where you're all on the same note. And it should sound like one beautifully rounded voice. It's enormously difficult. So sometimes we have songs that finish on a unison, quiet note. That's really, really challenging, because you've got to listen and be very, very aware of the noise you're making. Not just the vowel, not just the tuning, but the actual quality of the sound has got to match.
The phrase just goes on and on and on, and within the parts you sort of have to organise with your neighbour and feel when they're breathing and when they're running out, and you snatch a quick breath so you can carry on so they can snatch a quick breath, and you just have to buddy breathe.
It isn't easy to join an established choir, which I did, and it was a very established choir, and came in and didn't know anybody, really knew one person. And it has taken me a while to settle in. And I don't read music, so everybody seemed they knew every song and everything. They were, you know, they'd say. It was difficult. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but it has become easier as time goes on. And I actually, believe it or not, I am very chatty and talkative outside choir, but I'm very quiet in choir. But I think slowly I'm getting to know. I think since we did our duet and we've done our trio.
Which was based on a traditional tune, but it's got 8 verses written by a Victorian lyricist, poet. And yes, it's sung at most kind of public events. This afternoon's Symphony Orchestra, I'm assuming it'll be on. They play the English national anthem as well, because we've got a Lieutenant Governor who's the Queen's representative. The Queen is Lord of Man, so that's why he's here. So we sing both, but we've also got a more unofficial anthem, which is called Ellen Vannon, which is it's in the choir repertoire, but it's a much more kind of yearning. It's not quite as military, you know. National anthems are often a bit beautiful. We sang it in the Guild last year, and there were 3 or 4 quite kind of hard-bitten, important Manx old fellas who came up to me quite moist-eyed and said, "I've never heard it sung that well. It's like listening to it all again." Really, I was surprised at the impact it had.
It's quite haunting, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful.